Hello, History Fair contestants. The purpose of this video is to help you get started searching for books on your topic. There are a few steps in that process. First, you'll want to visit your local public library's website. Secondly, you'll want to find the search box in that website and use keywords appropriate to your topic to search for books. Third, you'll want to use some of the search limiters on the left side of the screen to determine which of your search results will be actually useful for History Fair. And finally, you'll want to evaluate the search results and pick a few books out of those search results that you'll actually want to go ahead and borrow from the library. Let's begin. Many of you live in Chicago, and so your library will be the Chicago Public Library. So you can do a basic search for Chicago Public Library, visit the library website. Now, every library website looks a little bit different, but all of them have search boxes on the home page that you can use to search the catalog. In the case of the Chicago Public Library, that search box is right up here in the top right-hand corner. Notice that it indicates that you're searching the catalog, which is good, and you're searching by keyword, which is good. So you can begin by typing in one or more keywords that relate to your topic. I'm going to go with Chicago Fire. And again, because that's a phrase, two words that go together as a single concept or thing, I'm going to put that in quotation marks and then search. Now, once you conduct your search, you'll initially probably see quite a lot of results. Here I have 341 results. But the key is to use the filters available on the left-hand side of the screen to narrow that result set down to the books that will actually be relevant for you. So we'll start with format. We see there are a number of different format types here. We want just the book, so I'm going to check book. That brings us down to 290. But fortunately, there are some more filters here. I see content, and I don't want government documents. I could probably use a web search to find those more effectively, so I'm going to go with nonfiction. That brings us down to 77. Now we're seeing here that some of these results, for example this one, we're seeing here on the home on our page, this one's about soccer, and it looks like it's a book for kids. Well, fortunately, there are filters on the left-hand side that we can continue to use to filter out results like that. So let's look at audience. We see that 20 of these books are for children, so we want the ones that are for adults. And if we scroll down again, there are some other useful filters here. Probably the next best one is topic. If you click on topic, you'll see listed a number of topics relevant to your keywords. And in this case, there's actually a specific topic for the Great Chicago Fire. It looks like there are actually two topics listed that are specific to the Great Fire. You might want to check out both of them. But for now, I'm going to go with this top one because it's the one that lists the greater number of sources, 15. So I'm going to click on Great Fire, Chicago, Illinois. And now I know that of these 15 results, they're all books. They're all centrally about the topic of the Great Fire that happened in Chicago in 1871. They're all for adults, and they're all nonfiction. So that's a great start. So from here, you can click on the results and determine which of them you'd actually like to use. As we scroll down, we see there are a number that are potentially useful. If we look at just the first one, Chicago's Great Fire, we see that this one was actually published this year in 2020. Here we get the summary. And then we can use the Place a Hold button to request to have this book sent to a library near you, whatever your local branch library happens to be if you're a Chicago Public Library cardholder. Now, many of you may not live in Chicago. You may live in the suburbs. So let's try the same process, but for a suburban library. Now, hopefully you're aware of your local public library. Hopefully you've used it before. But you can usually begin to find its website simply by searching for the name of the suburb in which you live, followed by public library. So I'm going to type in, for example, Lincolnwood Public Library, because Lincolnwood is close to Northeastern Illinois University, where I work. I'm going to click on the Lincolnwood Public Library page, and again, on the home page, this will look different for some of you depending on which suburb you live in and which suburban library is yours. But here in the top right-hand corner, once again, very similar to the Chicago Public Library, we see this search box that we can use to search the library catalog to find books. So let's say that my topic is the killing of Fred Hampton. I'm going to type in Fred Hampton, and again using quotation marks because that's the full name, and then I'm going to search the catalog. So once again, it looks a little bit different here in the Lincolnwood Library as compared to the Chicago Public Library, but all the same features, or at least most of the same features, are here. I see under Format that I can get just the books, which is good. And then if I scroll down, I can filter these results by subject. In this case, I only have, it looks like, 11 book results, so I may not need to filter this result set much more. I could just look through these 11. And I see the first one, for example, could be relevant. It's called The Torture Machine, Racism and Police Violence in Chicago. And I see that this does discuss the 1969 murders of Black Panther Party Chairman Fred Hampton and Panther Mark Clark. And if I scroll down, I see there's a book here, The Black Panther Speak. That could be a great primary source, actually, a book compendium of primary sources. I assume that's what that book is. And then if we scroll down further, we see another great book, The Assassination of Fred Hampton, How the FBI and the Chicago Police Murdered a Black Panther. So again, for any of these books, we could click on the title. And then from here, I see that there are no items available locally, but there's typically an option, I see it's here on the right-hand side, to place a hold for the book. So you could click on Place Hold and follow the instructions if you're a library card holder to actually use the library to get the book in your hands before long. So I hope that helps get you started searching for books. Give that a try, and when we meet, we can talk about your specific library and any steps that you might need to take to get books that are relevant for you from your public library.